Folks, thanks for coming on to view today's presentation of why Premier. We recognize in our organization that you as an independent insurance agent has the ability to reach out and contract with a number of different organizations or a number of different products. Many times when you hear my voice, I'm John Dubas with Premier Marketing, you hear much of either a marketing program or information about Medicare. What we want to do today is make certain that you realize that we are a full service organization across all lines of individual health life. And we want to make certain that you realize that you have a strong opportunity within our organization to add to your portfolio with a number of different programs. And sometimes when we ask a person to go to the website, one of the nice things to do about going to the website is getting lost on one. So we're going to walk through some different things to help you with that. Today's presentation is being recorded, and it, with some ancillary material, will be sent to all who have RSVP'd to today's presentation, and will come to you as soon as the webinar's recording updates in the system, so we can include that link in that follow-up as well. A bit of housekeeping. If you would, make use of the question section within the software for the webinar. Many times questions are answered throughout the course of the webinar, and that will keep us rolling. And if I ever shut up and get rolling further than this, we'll keep this from becoming a really long presentation. We also want to make certain that you realize that we aren't able to go into great detail with any one company or any one product because of the depth of the carriers that we have available for you. So watch for individual presentations on individual topics, and we do record these presentations and post them on our website as well. So watch for that if you would. A bit of general information about our organization. We are a national marketing organization founded in 1968. We're part of the Integrity Marketing Platform with offices across the country. We act as an insurance wholesaler, providing insurance services through independent insurance agents such as yourself. And we offer contracts with these products at the highest possible commission levels, with recruiting contracts available to those who qualify. As I mentioned, and we were founded in 1968, so we recently achieved a milestone in our history, our 50th anniversary. We consider that quite an accomplishment when you consider what began as a small family agency in rural Nebraska that's become one of the largest marketing organizations of its type in the country. And we do so through a full insurance portfolio. Those Medicare programs I speak of quite frequently are the Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement programs with standalone Part D prescription drug plans. But we also have a full portfolio of life insurance and annuity products, including final expense and Preneed programs, a nice selection of long-term and short-term care products, disability income programs, and ancillary benefits such as dental, vision, and hearing programs, critical illness and cancer plans, and hospital indemnity programs. When you look at the Medicare Advantage portfolio, it includes all of the national carriers and many of the strong regional carriers that can make a difference for you in your market. And we highlight these particular carriers quite frequently on individually focused presentations as well. That same philosophy carries over into the standalone Part D portfolio that has all the national carriers there for your use with our organization and are available to you through our contracting department. Our Medicare Supplement portfolio is very large and has specific tools set up to help you be productive and successful in this space. A couple of really hot recent releases include the Humana Achieve and the CVS program that is offered through Aetna. When you look at the ancillary products in each of those categories, you've got the national leaders in each of those areas. These programs not only fill the gaps in coverage with any base program, but also make a strong prospecting tool for you and also an additional stream of revenue for you and your agency. When we speak of disability and long-term care, this is where I will defer to my partner in crime, Katie Novotny, who will give us a little bit of overview of these long-term care programs. Katie?
Thanks, John. As you guys can see on the screen, we have quite a few options in the long-term care arena. We pride ourselves on being a long-term care solutions department. This will include the Life with Long-Term Care combo products, the traditional long-term care, along with the alternative products, including short-term facility and short-term home health care products. We have noticed in all of these changes that people are actually taking the time to plan. So we have to have opportunity for people that need premium consideration, underwriting consideration, and overall just comprehensive coverage. So with all of these options, and including our disability as well, we have remained quite busy over here, and we look forward to hearing from everyone.
Awesome. Katie, can you tell us perhaps a little bit about support programs that we have for these long-term and short-term care products specifically?
Yes. So here at Premier, we pride ourselves on the fact that we are full service and truly full circle. From the moment you have a client interested in one of these products, we welcome on the sales side any opportunity we can have a discussion that will allow us to design a product that will individualize your client's needs. From there, we have a great case management group that can allow us to follow your business. They will take it from the moment you send the application, they scrub it, get it to the carrier, and you will get timely updates on any information or progress on your case. Beyond that, if there would be any adverse decisions, we also have the opportunity to go out and shop the additional carriers and see what options we can find your clients. So therefore, you don't ever walk back empty-handed. Lastly is once the policies are issued, we have a complete department that works on policyholder service. So 3 years down the road, Mrs. Smith calls you and wants to do a review. We are more than happy to get annual statements or up-to-date policy information in order for you to provide that additional service to your clients.
That's awesome. And I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, particularly when we speak of long and short-term care products, most folks assume Medicare is going to take care of that. And it's one of those things we like to point out in the Medicare and You book, I think page 49, what's covered and what's not covered. This is definitely an area that falls under the not covered for custodial care. So thanks a lot for that, Katie. I'll be calling on you again here in just a few minutes, I believe.
Thanks, John.
When we look at life insurance, there are different categories of programs that help address specific needs of our prospects and clients. And here I am preaching to the choir in this particular situation. But when you look at different categories of life insurance that's designed to protect your prospects and clients, this gives you a bird's eye view from with some of it from a little higher altitude because of the number of programs that are available to you. But you'll see in this area a number of single premium life carriers and term life carriers that are available to you through our organization. And it gives you then choices to help with particular cases that may need certain types of underwriting or maybe designated for a particular purpose, like a key man policy or different programs of that type. What this gives you is a variety of programs that can help you cover those needs. And what we're seeing right now during our social distancing is many life insurance agents are really having a great opportunity in presenting a portfolio of products because people are home. Many of them are answering the telephone. And for those who are comfortable with an online presentation and realize that many of these carriers have electronic tools to help you sell remotely, I think you'll find that this is a great addition to your portfolio and covering the needs of your prospects and clients. That same concept carries over into the Guaranteed Universal Life and the Indexed Universal Life program as well. And you'll note in the indexed universal program, this includes products that Katie referenced a bit ago that are a bit of a hybrid where the product includes long-term care. There are, in the indexed universal category, 4 different programs that include long-term care. Katie, could you give us a bit of an overview on those particular carriers?
Sure. So a lot of these carriers that are noted here actually have a long-term care rider. What that allows for is an acceleration of a death benefit on the pretense that we are going to need long-term care. So the qualifications are going to be a bit different. They are a great complement to our quote-unquote hybrid products, which also have the accelerated death benefit, but with an extension rider on the back end, allowing for a continuation of long-term care once the death benefit is paid out. These products are going to differ a little bit, and some of them are going to overlap. I see on here we have Nationwide and Lincoln. So they would have a multitude of products that would provide for long-term care services.
Awesome. I remember back in my Prudential days in the mid-'80s, the great announcement where Prudential borrowed from Sun Life out of Canada the living benefits that rolled out at that particular time. They were more specific health conditions than long-term care in many circumstances, but I think that was an opening of a door of a progression of different carriers looking at that and realizing the value of including a rider such as you mentioned. So as we roll on into some of the additional life insurance that's available, we have first to die and second to die policies, which are very valuable when you are looking to insure a couple where one might have some health challenges, and to work with these carriers when it comes to estate planning. Also in the whole life category, you have those strong carriers that are there that have the reserves that are necessary to truly guarantee a payout when that time comes. When we look at the final expense and pre-need programs at this particular time, in the final expense arena, I'm going to defer to our expert in this area, Yanni Laborde. And Yanni, if you would, give us kind of an overview of what you're seeing with some of the carriers in the final expense arena.
Thanks, John. Yeah, so with final expense, it's always highly recommended that an individual agent consider, 3 basic types of products, and you don't need them all to be successful. But of these 3, you of course want a simplified issue. That's more of your everyday couple of health questions. 90% of the population typically falls into this category. You want a guarantee issue for those who may have been previously declined or recently declined for one of those final expense products, or maybe another, who may have some significant health issues, something that may have typically happened within the last year or two. Guarantee issue is a great addition. And then finally, of course, you want not necessarily what's noted here as a pre-need, but like a single premium option. Those come in really handy, especially for any agents here who are focused in the health space that, you're trying to assist your client through the process of getting maybe qualified for Medicaid benefits. They may have an existing life insurance policy, and the cash value there is being looked at as an asset, unfortunately, and we need to do something with that money. And through a simple process of 1035 exchange, we can move those funds, essentially moving them from one pocket to the other, and help that person qualify and avoid the process of spend down. The primary carrier that we use for for single premium is National Guardian Life. Even though this is in my particular space of expertise, our pre-need division is excellent as well. So for those of you who may be working directly with a funeral home, we've got some great relationships, and we have the right people involved that can help guide you through that.
Awesome. Thank you, Yanni. I think you'll find a great selection here. You have expertise in this area with our final expense department. Yanni is a great resource for folks in this area, not only in evaluating carriers and types that are necessary, but also in actually implementing those contracts and helping you sell. And we thank you for that too as well, Yanni. When we look at annuities, there's a large selection of programs available for you here as well. Right now, with any type of program that is offering a set interest rate, you kind of look at it and you go, whoa, but the guarantees that you have with an annuity program to pay out for a lifetime or a specific period makes this an integral part of the planning process of anyone with assets that they need to make certain last through a particular time period. So when you look at these programs and run across a prospect or work with folks that have these qualifications, we want to make certain that our annuity department is there for you as well and help you look at some of the alternatives that are available to you, both you to contract and to your prospects and clients to ensure their financial stability. All that said and done, all the products in the world won't necessarily float your boat, so to speak. What we need to do is make certain that you get some additional assistance from us here at Premier, and we go beyond some of the likelihood of just contracting and selling, because many folks are looking at insurance now, particularly with the unemployment rate as it is and the stability within our industry of becoming insurance agents. We have programs available if you fall in that category to help you obtain your licenses, or if you are an agency that actively recruits, this is a way to help people that you visit with in other sales arenas to become active in the insurance space. We have also a program that helps you basically compile an agent profile electronically and then select multiple carriers in an electronic basis and autofill those contract requests. That's our solution for carpal tunnel challenges, but it also gives you a great opportunity to store your licensing, your errors and admissions coverage, and then as opportunities arise, autofill the contracting and expedite that process. Not all carriers participate in this, but the vast majority of them do, so it's something we encourage you to look at. We also offer discounted E&O to qualified agents. When we say that, normally the first question is, what's a qualified agent? That's an agent who has a contract with us. And what this does is enable you to purchase a strong E&O policy that satisfies the requirements of the carriers with whom we work with in order to offer the programs. And the nice part about this is it's not like certain brethren we have in the industry who may add you to their blanket E&O for one policy. This gives you the opportunity to purchase and own your own E&O, and it covers you regardless of whom your hierarchy is in a particular area for a particular carrier. So you're going to make certain that your TOCUS is covered regardless, and it's going to take care of you with whatever organization you choose to contract as an independent agent. We also help you keep your licensing up and going with a multitude of combo courses for continuing education through our relationship with WebCE. And as an independent agent, you're responsible for your own benefit package. And this is a way through this program to add individual non-cancelable DI coverage to your own benefit package. It's available on a modified guarantee issue basis at discounted rates, and you share in the commission. So if you're looking to protect your own income, it's a great way to do it. Much as what we're recording this webinar, we do a regular series on different marketing programs, on different carriers and specific products, an active schedule that is posted on our website at premiersmi.com, and that's also where we post the recordings thereafter, even though we send them to all who have RSVP'd. So it's a great way for you to access additional information 24/7 because no two schedules in our lives are the same, and this is a great way to be able to be flexible and access that information. We also provide different electronic access tools that can help you sell. This particular program we're looking at right now is through CSG, and it enables you to garner additional information on Medicare products. You can do a Medicare Supplement review using this program for prospects and clients in a selling environment. It also gives you an idea as to what Medicare supplements are really price competitive in your market. It also gives you information on Medicare Advantage programs, certain detailing of plans, and a penetration into a particular market. It's not to be used as a comparison tool. We've got another program I'll show you in a moment that does that, but it does give you the information you need in many circumstances where you walk into a household. The prospect is basically looking for you to verify their choice. They're not going to move off their base program, but it enables you to fill in the blanks with hospital indemnity programs, dental programs, and also it does so because you set it up by picking up an electronic scope of appointment that gives you the right to speak on health products during that same meeting. That same software will store that for that 10-year required period that you have with that, whether you sell them or not. So it's a great way to go through different things and, okay, I've got this Med Advantage program. I'm going to need this much hospital indemnity to cover those daily co-payments. Of these different programs, it also gives you the opportunity to make use of e-applications, particularly helpful now in this time where, hey, our reaching out and touch someone, it's an old phone book commercial here at this time. When you look at the different products, the only program on this that you cannot present at the same time is the final expense life quote program. If you're in a Medicare product presentation, unless it's a Med Sup, that requires a 48-hour cooling off period. In this particular circumstance, Yanni, how do you best use the final expense quote portion of this, or do you use other programs as well?
Great question, John. So I really do love the CSG quoting tool here. One of the great things that I take from this is the ability to kind of get a quick snapshot of, depending on the underwriting of that individual, you know, what their health issues are. You can kind of use that final expense quoting tool to help narrow down which products you should take into consideration. However, I'd never recommend overly using it from the standpoint of, you know, not taking the time to really dive down into the application itself. It does show all the different carriers that we have through Premier, so you do want to make sure that you are shored up on those contracts ahead of time, so that way you're not going to cause yourself any headaches down the road. Most importantly, I think when it comes to quoting and finding the right product based off of an individual's health or whatever their preferences are with regards to submission process, paying premium, et cetera, is to just give us a call here at Premier. We're the experts. We're here to help, and we certainly want to see your business grow. So in any way that we can do that, please give us a call or shoot us an email.
Awesome. Thanks, Johnny. I think that pretty much echoes what my thoughts on the topic is as well. Inclusion of the final expense here, as you show your prospects and clients this particular tool, it obviously highlights the need for discussion on final expense. And that's one of the reasons I really like it as well. We also offer an additional tool for remote enrollment and discussion of programs in a compliant fashion in the Medicare Advantage and PDP space with our Medicare Center program. This also can act as a simplified CRM system for you, so you can do reviews year over year with information that's stored within the system. This is a grand alternative to the Medicare Plan Finder that we find on Medicare.gov, because with the changes this last fall in that system, we didn't have data that would carry over year to year with the drugs that were being utilized by our prospects and clients. This enables you to save all that information. This is the company that used to power Medicare.gov. That's one of the challenges they had. They switched vendors. It's also a way that you can cross-sell throughout the year. So maintaining that permission to contact and then reaching out to those individuals to address additional needs on different programs that we have noted that aren't covered by Medicare offers a great cross-selling opportunity. So those ancillary programs that we discussed, the final expense program, long-term, short-term care programs, this is a great segue into those discussions by using a database that gives you a lot of the information about their health circumstances, based on their drugs that they're using, and a great way for you to go beyond just a Medicare sale. This is one of the programs that I really like to see that comes into play and is an integral part of the final expense world, and that's the Legacy Safeguard program. So once again, I'm going to shut up for a little bit and ask Yanni to kind of give us an overview of what Legacy Safeguard can do and what the postseason game plan is.
Hey, thanks, John. You know, the Legacy Safeguard sales and marketing system's been around for a little over a decade, and year after year, it's proven to be one of the most powerful tools to starting that conversation for final expenses. 100% of our clients, unfortunately, are going to pass away, ourselves included. Legacy Safeguard is really going to help bring a tremendous amount of value to the discussion. It's going to help you sort of tee that up. And in combination with the quoting tools that we have, I mean, think of this in terms of implementing it. You know, you're meeting with somebody, you're selling a plan A or B or what have you. John, you're the expert, so I'll leave you to that. But depending on where you are, I mean, that plan really isn't changing. It's really a matter of premium. So if I'm saving an individual, a client, you know, let's say, you know, $50 or $100 a month, you can easily use those same quoting tools to kind of, you know, show them, hey, you know, just for that $100 a month that I'm saving you without changing your budget, we can add X amount of dollars in final expense. And, you know, to add value to that conversation, Legacy Safeguard is going to offer them the opportunity to leave their personal information, outline their final wishes, and so much more. So with that particular sales and marketing system, a relationship or a contract rather with us through either Transamerica or United of Omaha would be required to access that system. But I do want to reiterate, this is a proven sales and marketing system. It's worked year after year, and it comes with a lot of great tools for your clients and for you as agents in terms of marketing, starting the conversations, pre-approach letters, mail lead pieces, and so much more.
Thanks, Yanni. And I think to your point earlier, because of the implementation of the macro legislation that was passed clear back in 2015, that prohibits people new to Medicare of picking up a C or an F plan, bringing up a lot of discussion about Medicare Supplement plans where a premium savings can walk you straight into additional sales in final expense in other areas, simply because, once again, it's the Peter Falk at the door. Just one more question, you know. So it's a great way to lead into a cross sale there as well. And that Legacy Safeguard program is one I personally would recommend for any agent that is in the final expense world of utilizing it for themselves as well as a pre-planning process. It really gives you an idea of the value of that program and takes care of you and your family as well. Available to you without cost. Do it. Because of the number of programs that we offer, a lot of times it's easy to become confused as to, okay, what all can I get by selling a particular program? Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans with their standardized compensation, well, they don't qualify for these different trips or incentives, but just about every other program does. And many times those same sales that you make with a carrier also helps you qualify for Premier's Producers Convention. This year, that was to be a trip, well, starting yesterday through the end of the week, a cruise from Miami to the Bahamas. Because of the current situation, obviously, that was canceled. But remember, as they say on Broadway, there's always tomorrow. And pardon me, there's always tomorrow. So next year's trip is something to look forward to. And many of the carriers are speaking of future trips and the incentives they have as well. So watch for those pieces of information. Some of the things that we can help you do to be successful also is provide you with a contact list that's custom ordered for you. It's available to you at a discounted price or for a zero cost, depending upon your contracting situation with our organization. But we also help you to do different community marketing, grassroots marketing campaigns that make a difference for you in different areas. That includes retail marketing programs Believe it or not, we have a webinar in about a week and a half coming up on Walmart and the opportunities through different insurance carriers in that area, or do-it-yourself campaign as well. But we also help you work with other centers of influence in the community, such as faith-based organizations, presenting seminars on a regular basis on a rotation of topics. And the three of us speaking with you here today are great topics to use. We have different compliant presentations in the Medicare space. The Legacy Safeguard program makes a great presentation in final expense, and Katie is always innovative in coming up with campaigns to speak about long and short-term care. We also have programs to help you work with the folks that actually provide the care for the coverages that we are offering. This includes working with doctors and specialists, hospital systems, but also ancillary carriers that sometimes aren't as heavily marketed, organizations such as durable medical equipment carriers, or working with funeral homes or dentists. You have many carriers that are devising programs that work specifically with dental providers, and it's a great way for you to sell standalone dental programs or transition into other areas of sale as well. We also have programs that help you to market to veterans. Many circumstances, depending upon the time of the year, carriers will also help you generate prospects. A number of the carriers have some innovative programs that give you marketing support year-round. And one of the things that we're seeing now in the Medicare space is because of how hot the dual special needs programs are in different parts of the country, many of the carriers that work in that space are offering co-op programs to folks who have a interest in that area and a dedication to that area, and get you additional details on those carriers and what's required for that upon request. We do also offer internet leads, different Facebook programs. Yanni has a program that is a stellar program on Facebook leads for final expense. If I could ask you again, Yanni, for a little description on how that works or what's available.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, so the Facebook leads are only $17 a piece right now. They're doing for a limited time the ability to purchase just 10 to start. Of course, as with any lead program, I always recommend buy more than what you think you need. The leads, of course, as with any of the leads that we offer here through Premier, are exclusive to you. The way that it works simply is after you've placed your order, and of course you can contact me and I'll walk you through that. Once you've placed your order, the individual senior, the prospective client, is going to be on their Facebook. They'll see an advert for final expense life insurance. They'll click on it, read through the information, and submit voluntarily, of course, their first, last name, whether or not they're married, telephone number, email address, mailing address, their favorite hobby. And if you've set it up correctly, and of course, again, I'll be able to walk you through this, they can actually select a date and time for an appointment with you. Those leads are then sent to you in real time. The demographics that they're trying to target generally are going to be individuals between the ages of 55 to 79, and within a no more than 50-mile radius of whatever your target zip code or address might be. So these leads are not only going to be very close to you, but they're hitting that target market as best as they can. And the individuals are providing a lot of great information on themselves in terms of what they're looking for. And then, of course, they're sent over to you in real time for you to follow up with. Typically, leads from the time that you place your order are going to actually be generated within 24, maybe even 48 hours within the time of that order. So if you're looking to jumpstart your final expense sales and do so very quickly, this is a great option for you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Yanni. We're rolling out a similar program in the Medicare world. We just have some details we need to still iron out, so watch for that from our area as well. Yanni mentioned you get a fairly immediate response on Facebook leads. We don't necessarily get that same sort of time turnaround with the tried and true direct mail, snail mail approach, but it's an area that has an effect on a constant basis. It's tried and true, and we offer special circumstances with working with that. So to give you a little more detail on some of those different pieces that are available in that assistance program, that contact list, keep in mind those names may be recycled multiple times through the vendor, but they usually have a freeze on how often they will sell those particular leads. We purchase them and then offer them to you at a discount, and you know how things are with cold calling. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's a little warmer, it all depends. Those community-based programs I kind of give greater detail on already. We see Walmart being consistently utilized by many folks on a year-to-year basis for health programs. It's something that Walmart is also looking to do on more of an extended time period throughout the year than just the AEP and OEP periods. But we also have opportunities with specific Medicare Advantage carriers who offer their own programs as well. United Healthcare, Anthem, Aetna, a number of programs, Baylor, Scott, and White. It all depends on a particular market that you're in and who your partner might be as to the different opportunities that are there. Obviously, if you're going with Walmart, they look for a multi-carrier type of approach. You work with a carrier, they want you to sell their business. And in many areas, that's because they are one of the stronger programs in that area, so something to consider. Those faith-based opportunities, I know many people now are thinking, okay, seminars, camps, you got to be able to talk to people. Keep in mind, many of these organizations are being very creative in how they deliver, for want of a better term, for their people, for their business. And in that circumstance, they're doing a lot of things electronically as well. So what might have been a seminar or a camp may become an electronic presentation utilizing the same tools that are put into play for face-to-face availability as well. We have in this particular circumstance a listing of many of those different topics that are available to you. These are vetted. Many of them are taken from a carrier or from CMS itself, or we have created it and have run it through compliance departments to make certain that we protect you as well. When you work with providers, obviously that's a different circumstance in the different areas that we're looking at. When you deal with Medicare or individual health, it's a lot easier because this is where they're going. But you'll be surprised in many circumstances that if you work with a dentist, that dental care will actually bring out challenges a person has with their body that wasn't caught by their doc. So it may provide them with an area where, hey, because of certain health circumstances, if you want a long-term care program, you should look at it now because you may not qualify for it in the future. And when Yanni went through the different areas of final expense and the products that are available in different areas, obviously there may be a price gradation between those different types, and getting the policy when you're healthy makes a huge difference on the premium. Because keep in mind, generally, folks don't want to insure a house that's already on fire. The carriers I mentioned already as well with some of their support, this is what we utilized in the direct mail support in the Medicare world. We deeply discount this, the costing of these programs through our preferred lead partners. We do so because we vet the letters they use to make certain they're compliant, and we protect you on the back end. There's a similar program. These are the vendors that we mentioned, a fifth one added that I noticed that's not on there, ARM. But in the final expense world, Legacy Safeguard gives us an idea of what we need to spend to get a certain amount of sales, but they have different and additional lead co-op partners and an additional program as well. I won't ask you to elaborate on that one. Yanni will make certain that the detail is part of the follow-up. We mentioned, of course, the internet and then some of the different programs that are available there. If you are working in different spaces for different reasons, if you're selling to the public, obviously certain social media platforms are more geared toward that. And that's why the emphasis on Facebook. A whole bunch of us seniors are really active on that Facebook site, much more than you might think. Younger individuals, not so much. They go into other areas. We have programs that we've done as to how to work and market digitally, and we'll include that link in the follow-up. This is besides the Facebook programs that Yanni elaborated on. So all this said and done, what we're looking for, as you may suspect, is an opportunity to continue to work for you and garner even more of your business. And we're not shy about asking for it. We'd like that opportunity to prove ourselves and to give you additional ways of selling product across the board without interfering in your prime focus, but also not leaving business on the table. We want to make certain that we serve you in that area. And in order to do so, what we're asking of you is to review the information we've given you today, determine how this can be valuable as a part of your overall personal marketing program for you to make the commitment of starting that process, getting contracted, becoming familiar with those programs, accessing the information from not only our organization, but from carrier information that we make available to you. And as they say in John Wayne and the Cowboys, been watching a little bit of the Grit channel here lately. In that movie, we're burning daylight. Don't procrastinate. All that said and done, you can reach any of us here at Premier through our toll-free number at 1-800-365-8208 or through our website at premiersmi.com. We realize that your most valuable asset and what you're probably very aware of now is your time. We appreciate a portion of that time being invested with us during today's presentation. We look forward to the discussions that will come. And in the meantime, we're going to wish you good selling. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you, Yanni and Katie.